Sir, namaste. Sir, basically, I want to talk about the things which you spoke in the session. It was very good, but me basically being Hindu Brahmin, see in temples and all, it is used for puja. All the dairy products is used for puja.
Yes.
Even they light a ghee lamp, and it is all a tradition. And being in Hindu tradition, it is not at all mentioned to be vegan. In no Veda Shastra Ityasa, it is not at all mentioned.
Of course.
And in especially India, being vegan, and it is like turning India legs up and head down. And some people are chose to be sweet holic, and for them it is totally like we use ghee for sweets, and from where we will get that ghee, and again that cow products. So for sweets and all there is no alternate. So adapting this veganism is quite tough in India. And my question is, as it is not mentioned in anything, and this veganism, as of I know, it is mentioned in Hinduism for only sannyasis for only 1 month in their whole year, while Chaturmasya. But it is, for a common man, it is quite tough, I think. Then how to apply this for...
Okay, I'll answer you. Like I explained in my lecture there, you remember at the beginning I showed red circle, blue circle, all of that. Like I said, we should always be open-minded to questioning our traditions. I am not saying we have to go against the traditions. I'm saying at least we should be open-minded to questioning them. Because we have to admit that in the end of the day, culture or tradition is basically one particular person's point of view from many thousands of years ago that has been successfully propagated from generation to generation with a large number of people. Now I'm asking the large number of people, please let us go back in time and just question whether the initial thing what was first said is right or wrong. Now, right or wrong is not the question here, because then it becomes like a debate whether I'm questioning the religion is right or wrong. So I don't want that. My point is, do you first agree with me if I make the statement that dairy products, the production is violent? Do you agree with that statement? Dairy is violent?
No, it is violent if it is illegal.
If it's illegal?
As you said, it is made pregnant forcefully.
Those are legal, man. All of those are legal activities in our country. Our government only sends the veterinarian to do all those activities. It's legal.
So then my question is, even we say Gavo Vishwasya Matara, means the cow, she is called mother for the world, for the entire world, because she gives milk. And she's having all motherly qualities.
You said she gives milk, for whom?
So it is said that she gives milk for her children, and we also have it. And my thing is, I have proofs, and it is mentioned in all the books, so that we'll use for the puja purposes, all the 5.
I get that, I'll come to that, but my point is, when I first asked you, whom does she give?
First her children's.
Okay. A monkey gives milk for whom?
Her children's.
And then after that?
So it is not used.
So humans have decided to pick on the buffalo and the cow many years ago, and then what we have done is we have now made it in such a way, and please, when I speak this, obviously I don't want you to think by any means I'm trying to offend you or your belief, because that is not my intention.
So 1 minute. I have a thing on you.
Sure.
So you are saying like, why only cow's milk is selected and why not monkeys, you are asking?
Or anyone else's, human milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is like, it depends on the mentality, and it depends on, see again I should not, people will be offended. So why only Brahmins are entered in Garbhagriha? Why not all? It depends, sir. Like that we can take, sir, it is like...
Okay, again, that's okay. I get your point. My point is that we'll try to, if possible, take it in a different direction in this conversation. My point is that at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're bringing up culture and tradition and religion as a major point of reasoning to continue supporting certain actions you do. Right, number one. I am saying that we can never let culture or religion or tradition impede the progress of human civilization, because in the name of tradition, people in the past used to do sati, yes or no? Yes. Untouchability. Child, you agree these 3 things are wrong? Completely.
Yes.
Okay. But I want you to think, if I went to say a classroom 500 years ago and I spoke against sati or untouchability, and someone stood there and said like, what is this you're talking about our culture like this? In our culture we've always done things that way, and he says the exact same statements you're saying, wouldn't he be wrong?
So no, it won't be wrong, I think.
You mean burning females alive won't be wrong?
No. It is wrong. It is wrong. Sorry.
No, I am talking about I'm talking about.
Sorry, at a stretch I did not get your question.
No problem. What I am trying to convey to you is that you are once again going and using religion and tradition. See, I am someone who honestly believes that every human has the right to follow whatever religious practices they want to follow on one stipulation. It should not involve harming another human being or animal. If that is there, means people can choose to believe whatever faith they want, whatever type of prayers they want, everything is fine. You mentioned obviously that in Poojas, we say for example milk Abhishekam, it is done. My only question is, you are doing it in the name of God, right? If you offer, say, instead of cow's milk, you offered coconut milk, will that anger God? Will God be angry, or will He appreciate the fact that you're a bhakti and you're still offering milk?
So it is not like that God has never asked anything. It is our bhakti.
Then that makes our actions all the more worse. Because if you said that God commanded me to do something, then the argument goes elsewhere, and then we have to see whether how do you know what God said, all of this will come up. But if you're saying God never said this, and that we ourselves are deciding, that makes our actions all the more evil, because that means we are just making stuff up for our own vanity. Like, see, think of it, man. If we are willing to now torture and abuse a cow and her child, like I showed you, it's happening, take that milk, but then we are making a sculpture of, say, Nandi, cow, and we are pouring there, and God never asked for it. Are we not, what are we doing? God made the cow and her baby. We are hurting His creations, but then we are building something in our name for Him, and then we are hurting His babies and pouring that milk over there. Is that, if my whole point is that culture, tradition can be held on to only as long as it is not affecting another human or animal. I think everyone will probably agree on that statement. You have to realize that, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, dairy involves extraordinary amounts of violence. The cows are being forcefully made pregnant. The children are being taken from them. And then they're being killed. And like I told you, India is one of the leading exporters of beef on earth, being a Hindu nation. Not a Hindu nation, but you know how many Hindus? The biggest Hindu nation on earth. With that being said, I mean, something really wrong is going on here. So you should be all the more eager to become a vegan and see, okay, Arvind, my culture involves ghee, so and milk and stuff, but I am now going to find a way to still continue my cultural and traditional practices without using those dairy products. For example, instead of ghee to light the lamp, why can't we just use sesame oil or some castor oil or something else? For example, instead of ghee, you're saying, how can we make sweets, right? There is, I don't think right now that some company is promoting me, but that's not the case. I have a friend from Coimbatore, and he inherited a sweets store from his father, which was making ghee sweets and everything. He completely converted all of that into a vegan sweet store, delivers all around pan-India. He delivers vegan Mysore Pak, vegan Gulab Jamun, vegan Jalebi, vegan everything, without any milk products. Taste, if I gave it to you, you will not even know it's vegan. That good they make it. So what I'm saying is, he is not rejecting the culture or tradition. He is saying, for those who believe in the culture or tradition, I am giving you an option without harming the animals. Please just choose this option instead. So why can't we now think of it in a way where, okay, this is part of my tradition, but it happens to be violent. I'll admit that and try to find a way now to take my tradition in a way without exploiting animals. Why not think in that direction instead?
So my question is, but it is mentioned, right? It is mentioned that it should be followed in this way.
Okay.
As it is mentioned,
But
and
go on.
The time when they used these things, the Rishi Munis used these things, it was totally different, I agree. Now the violence has started, but that time it was very pure. They used to use dairy milk and all. And my question is, how you said that we should have breaks for some tradition if you want to improve the things, like
improve humanity, yes, yeah, society.
But it is a hand in hand, right? What we follow, it is a way of life. And
agree.
Particularly speaking about Hinduism, it is not at all a religion, it is a way of life.
Okay, but again I'm telling you, your way of life at this point in time, I'm pointing out and saying that not everything, certain aspects of it involve violence towards animals. Could you please just stop only those aspects and still continue your way of life? I'm not trying to impede upon your way of life. Only the aspects where you have to realize, okay, if you use honey, you are paying someone to take a fire and burn down that hive and kill the bees and take their honey, right? You are doing that, yes or no? If I'm choosing to eat meat, I am paying someone to kill the animal. If I am consuming dairy products, I am paying someone to forcefully make that female pregnant. Why can't we just acknowledge this? Yes, this is my lifestyle, I'm following it. Certain parts are very violent. I will just stop the violent parts and still continue with my culture. In fact, I know many traditional Hindus who are vegan, still do all the pujas, everything like you mentioned, but they are vegan. They exist. Because in the end of the day, they are not saying because it's my tradition, this is okay. They are saying this is my tradition. I am proud of it. I love it. I want to have my tradition, but not at someone else's expense. I will continue my same tradition. Instead of wearing silk, I will wear cotton. Because at the end of the day, I am still wearing a veshti, but I will refuse to boil silkworms for my veshti. Get the point? In the end of the day, you make the choice that is non-violent, is what I'm saying. Why not?
Yeah, we can make, but I'm asking that it will be totally against what is mentioned. It is totally against what is mentioned.
Is it against or it is just not mentioned? Surely, they have not mentioned there that you should not do this, right? They did not say you should not wear cotton. Is it mentioned you should not wear cotton? Or you should not use coconut milk is mentioned there?
No, it is mentioned like we should use cow milk. It is mentioned like we should use silk cloths while doing puja. It is mentioned.
Okay, but then that's what I'm saying. I agree it's a part of your tradition and culture and religion. But then again, don't be offended. I'm not trying to say anything that way. You have to admit that that's violent. It's violence, right? It is promoting violence towards animals. Yes or no? Just we have to be fair here.
Yeah,
it is. So all I'm saying is, why can't we only remove that part? I'm not asking you to remove anything else though. Yes, it is said there, but don't you think, okay, which is more important here, tell me? Like, for example, if I drop a book, I'll probably pick it up and I'll do that, right? But if I had an option right now, I can either, like there's a book dropped over there, or I have to save your life. I will choose to save your life and leave the book. Why? Because that book is inanimate and you are a living person, I should save your life. Similarly, my culture and tradition does not have feelings, but this animal has feelings. So they should be given the first importance, right? You get my point? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is, you have to, I know it's hard, let it go. You have to let it go. As a vegan, as an animal rights activist, I can only be honest. Because I've had many people stand up and also ask me the same question, what about animal sacrifice? You want me to stop killing goats and buckwheat? And I tell them, yes, 100%. You cannot use religion to justify the stuff. See, our rights end where the rights of others begins. I understand this is a secular country, okay? And it should be that way and everyone should have equal rights. I'm completely for that. But our secularism, the question I'm asking is not whether I'm against secularism. The question is, should exploiting and killing an animal even come under as an option for secularism? No one should be given that. I don't care if you're atheist or Hindu, Muslim, Christian, anybody you can be. No human in this country, I want to create a society where no human is allowed to exploit or hurt another human or animal. And for that, we do need people who are traditional to just concede and accept, like, you know what, fine man, yeah, I get it. My culture, some parts of it are quite violent. It's okay, I will just try to find other ways to do that part and I will still keep moving on. Because no one is against your tradition, no one is against your culture, but only the parts that are violent, yes, I'm against that. So I know it's hard for you, but I'm saying please think of it from the animal's perspective. At the end of the day, you, by changing, and you can probably guide many other Hindus forward, you're helping creating a better world for animals. Because if this continues, they are still going to suffer. Thousands of people can speak like you. 10,000 animals will still suffer. Thousands of people change. They don't suffer anymore. Isn't that more important? That's what I'm telling you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.